For this elements of design photo assignment, you're only worrying about 4 elements of design. You're looking at line, shape, texture, and pattern. Lines means not just a pattern of lines, but lines that lead your eye through the photo. That means if you look at the lanterns, they all line up and they lead your eye over here. Same with this creek or the sidewalk or even the crack in between the two roofs. All these lines, even though they might not be physical lines, lead your eye over here. Another example is the road. In this picture, it sort of curves around like this, and that is also called a leading line. Shape means that the shape itself of the photo could be interesting. So it could be something like the silhouette of the elephants, or it could be the archway that is used for framing the people. So often shapes are used for framing. So it could be a window frame, a door frame, or something like that. But the shape itself is what should be interesting. Texture means that you can get an idea of what it feels like. If you were to look at the photo, you get a sense of what it would feel like to touch it. So these wind blows leaves here from the trees, or her shiny skin, or the texture on the flip-flop, or the soft of the slow exposure of the water gives you that feeling of softness. So that's all texture, gives you a sense of feeling. And pattern means that you have an arrangement of things. So for example, all of these bowls, they make a pattern. It's a very regular pattern, but it also could be a little bit more irregular pattern, like the cupcakes here. They are all, or the egg tarts, they make a more irregular pattern. So those are the 4, and I'm going to show you some more examples in a second. And for all of the photos, you want to think about your rule of thirds. And your rule of thirds, what that means is if you have a picture, let's say the picture of the bottle here, if you take that picture and put that grid on, like a tic-tac-toe grid, and the main subject of your picture should be along one of those lines of the grids. So that bottle here is perfect for that. The runner up here on the right is like that too. And that also works for layout, or the way this image is cropped of him jumping with this pose. So that makes your photo more interesting than if you put the subject smack in the middle of the photo. That's called the rule of thirds. So try to follow the rule of thirds while you're taking those photos. So there's other elements of design, but we won't worry about them for this assignment. There's also a video here that you can watch, and it's not terribly long, but it's very good. Lots of good examples of great photography from Steve Curry. And now I'm going to show you some sample projects that people finished, and give you ideas. So you can see how they've done different pieces. So let me just click in here. So they have pattern, line, shape, and texture. And they have, and you should have 5 photos of each. So for the best one, you're going to give me your explanation, but you should show me all the other images as well. So in this case, you can see the pattern of the fence. You can see the lines of the sidewalk. The shape of the half-eaten sandwich is sort of interesting, and the texture of the roughness of the wall is also an interesting texture. So similarly, this person, they laid it out, they put all the photos together. That will work well for your web blog. So here you can see the pattern of balls. You can see the crate, garbage cans, lockers. These are all make nice patterns. Here they found some interesting shapes again around the school. For lines, here you can see that they have a solid line in some cases, but also the paving stones that are not a solid line that also leads your eye through the photo. So great examples of lines. And again, texture here gives you an idea of what it would feel like. So often texture works well when you get really close and you get the camera to a slight angle. So let's look at one more assignment here. Again, you've got pattern, shape, lines, and texture. Again, you can see the lines leading through. You have here patterns, so you can see that these are lines, but they don't actually lead your eye anywhere. So that makes that a pattern, right? And shape, again, interesting shapes up in here. And again, interesting textures, and for each an explanation. So that gives you some examples. So 5 photos of each of these elements of design, with your best one giving me an explanation where you see that texture and how you're looking at it. And then you would post that to your blog.